Hey everybody, Larry, Fort Worth Memories Museum and Groups. And YouTube at Fort Worth Memories. Let me see if I can find the live feed, which I can't. There I am. So today is Thursday. Wait a minute, let me eliminate some of the. So today is Thursday, February the 6th. Beautiful day outside. I'm going to share it to the open internet and share it to memories and live videos. Okay, so let me send this lady a message. The florist. Hold on. Okay, so it is about 1:37. I'm going to be getting out of here in a little bit. Yeah, there it is. That camera keeps jumping around. Anyway, so I'll be getting out of here next 10 or 15 minutes. So we're going to go over our sponsors again, and we're going to start from the bottom of our list, which is just in order sequence they're in. There is Dub Peacock's A-Bird AC and Heating Inc. If you got any problems with your heater air or whatever, call Dub's company and they'll send a technician out and y'all can figure out what's wrong with it. Burt Ladner Real Estate. Wes Williams is associated with that group, and Wes is on the board of Larry's Kids, my bike giveaway. Steve Coburn, Coburn's Catering. If you're going out to the stock show today, tomorrow, or Saturday, and you eat a barbecue sandwich, it probably comes from Coburn's Catering. I've been doing business with the Coburns since the 60s. Dickey Carr Sand and Gravel, that's Pat and Richard Carr. They're huge donors to different civic groups. My bicycle drive every year. Last year they wrote a check for $5,000. We had several checks for that many. Richard Carr's nephew is Dickey Carr. He owns Grateful for Your Trees. Anything to do with trees. Cutting them down, trimming them, grinding down stumps. There's all the stuff he does right there on the screen. Hold on just a second. Somebody just sent me a message. Okay, there we go. Express Dent. That's Dick Regester started that company about the same time I started the detail business 40 years ago. Dick now lives in Florida, the Sunshine State, but his partner is Eric. And so if you got hail dings, door damage, any scratches, Express Dent are the folks to take it to. They're on White Settlement Road. Let's see, Fort Worth Lumber Company. They have been sponsors on my group for 7-8 years, and they contribute every year to the bike giveaway. They're on the South Freeway or 35, so if you need building plans or material, anything like that, those are great folks to see. Jenny Stewart, State Farm Insurance. If you think your insurance is too high, it probably is. I know mine is. Brittany's in. Call Jenny's team and get a quote. Doesn't hurt to call and get a quote. Brandon Cross. Hey, Brittany. Brandon Cross has Cross Electric, another family-owned business. Our motto here at Fort Worth Memories and all of our 130,000 members is we buy locally and spend locally. We want to help our local businesses, if at all possible. So if you need an electrician, Brandon Cross is the folks to call. Old South Pancake House. I've been knowing the Benson family more than 40 years. Rex Benson's family, his dad started that, it used to be called Smitty's Pancake House in 1958. Dave Benson bought it in 1962. So it's open 24/7 on University, and on the Burleson location, it closes at 9 or 10 at night. K Ranch Roofing, Jorge Hernandez is the owner. The lady that you call to see if you've got to set up an appointment is Bree, and so don't go try to rent a ladder and climb on your roof. You'll probably fall and break a bone or something. If you think you've got a roof issue, call K Ranch Roofing and they'll come out and look at it for free. Optimist Club of Fort Worth. They've been involved with Fort Worth Memories for 8 or 9 years. They're sponsors on our group. They give us a Christmas tree every year for free. They do a lot of stuff for kids. Scholarships, athletics. Missy's in. Passport Getaways. If you're planning on a cruise or a trip, you want to go fly to Europe, see the Eiffel Tower, call Passport Getaways. Let them do the legwork, and all you got to do is supply the money. Rains Plumbing. That's another family-owned business. We've had a lot of great reviews on Rains Plumbing. So if you've got plumbing issues, call Rains Plumbing. Railhead Barbecue, Charlie Guerin. He is on the board of Larry's Kids, and he's been a long-time sponsor. And last year for the bike giveaway, I brought in the most money, and Charlie brought in the second most, tens of thousands of dollars. Great guy. He's also our state rep. There's another realtor, Eric Walsh, who's also on my board at Larry's Kids, and he raises lots of money also. Rex's Bar and Grill, that is in the same parking lot with Old South Pancake House. It used to be called Macaroni Grill. Rex bought that. Their Macaroni Grill closed up a couple of years ago, I think. Rex took it over and remodeled it for several months. It's a fancy place. We're going to have our birthday party and our boxing and Cowtown program there this year. Swartz and Hanson, Jerry Swartz and Hanson, they're our architectural firm. They've been sponsors on our group for many moons. Stroud Auto Supply over in the Haltom City, Riverside area. They've been in business a long time. I was buying auto parts over there when I was 16. Okay, if you got Medicare or Medicaid questions, Casey Crawl, his group, they're very, very knowledgeable about it. So call them and let them ask your questions to them. They know what they're talking about. Phelps Family Auto Care, they're in the Burleson area. We've gotten a lot of great reviews from them also. G2 Garage, Chris and his team, they're in the White Settlement area. They're ready to take care of any of your mechanic needs, any automotive needs. Alpha Design and Build, that is Lance Sanders. They are a remodeling company, but they'll put a second story on your roof or your business. Anything, flooring, all of that stuff. They do it all. Fort Worth Florists, Jeanette and her team are ready to take care of your Valentine's orders, funerals, weddings, just sending flowers, whatever. Call Fort Worth Florists. They're out in the 8200 block of Camp Bowie. Winstead Paint and Body. I've been doing business with the Winsteads 40 years. They're on White Settlement Road, just past Roberts Cutoff. Scott Sumner is our IT guru. He will build a website for you. He'll do any technical issues. Anytime you got a technical issue with any of my groups or any of my stuff, Scott's the guy you go to. Don't forget, it's going to be warm the next 3 days, but then next week it's going to be cold. Bring our four-legged friends in. They don't ever give us a hard time. They always love to see us. You don't want to be out in 30-degree weather, and neither do they. Okay, so that is our list of sponsors. We need a painting contractor. Stephen is in, Aaron's in, Larry's in. So if you know somebody that we haven't mentioned their business, tell them to holler at us. The rate is very low for the amount of exposure you get. On any given day, there's it averages 64,000 people go on this group in a 24-hour period. You don't get that anywhere. Star Telegram, radio, television, nothing. Especially not for $1,500 a year. Super Bowl is Sunday. I don't go to parties or anything anyway. But at 7 o'clock at night, my eyes close automatically. I can't stay open. So I have to wake back up about halftime and watch the rest of it. The rodeo and stock show is on today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then it goes away for another year. So we always want to keep all of our friends and guests that come into town. They bring a lot of money into Fort Worth or into the Metroplex. What else? Where are we eating this Saturday? We're eating at Chicken Golden Chick, whatever it is, out there on Camp Bowie next to Campese's. Chicken Golden Chick, I think is the name of it. We've eaten there a lot of times. They've got great food. And it's reasonably priced. Well, next week we can start moving stuff back over here if y'all want to eat barbecue or wherever. We try to spread it around so that we, bring business to everybody. Brittany is in Chicken Salad Chick. Thank you. Did you call them, Brittany? And let them know that we're coming? We're coming to the one on Camp Bowie. It's nice. It's real nice. And you can get a sandwich and a cup of soup. That's what I always get. It's really neat. Chicken Salad Chick. I never can remember that name. There's several of them. When first time we ever ate out there, I'd never heard of them. But it's like a cafeteria style. When does what? To pick out what flowers, just call. I shared, you can go on the group page. I just shared their website. You can order, I'm sure you can order from the website, but it's got all kinds of great pictures of flowers, but you can call them. You can call them. And right there's their phone number. They're ready, willing, and able to do business with you right now. You got to send your gal friend some roses. There's Ginger. Brittany says she ordered. When did you order flowers from Fort Worth Florist? I did my order online from the florist. Hey, Ginger. When did you order flowers? Yesterday? Brittany is she helps me a lot, and she's in New Jersey. She's on the East Coast. We've got members in every state in the United States in 140 countries. Over 130, right at 131,000 active members. So Brittany did her order with the florist online yesterday, she said. Cool. It's that time of year, February 14th, right around the corner. This is what, the 6th? 8 more days. But you don't have to wait till a holiday. Send flowers. You know, we've got funerals, weddings, graduations. You got all kinds of stuff. Back when I was acting crazy, I'd just send them to try to keep out of the doghouse. But as time gets you, that all goes away. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to start. It takes me a few minutes to load this dog and pony show up. The morning show will start at 7 a.m. Now, you can always get our sponsors on anytime I do lives down here. We also, on the website, fortworthmemories.com, has a list of all of our sponsors, with the exception of the 3 or 4. Fort Worth Florist is one of them that we just added recently because Scott's been out of town for going on 2 weeks, but he said he's going to update them on the Memories website this weekend. And I want to get him to put the score up for the Super Bowl game. Anybody, anything else? I don't have a Valentine's to send flowers to. Well, send them to yourself. That's a good idea. If people are single and not whatever, broken up, divorced, whatever, call Fort Worth Florist and send them to yourself. Tell them to put on the card, love you. Then, whenever they're delivered, you'll think, oh my gosh, I got flowers. Does that sound like a good deal? Well, they've got them flowers. I was watching a television program the other day, and they were showing all the different, man, they got them in every color you want. Yellow, red, white. They got every color. I don't know how they make them colors. Johnny Penn, we're eating at Chick Salad Chick Saturday. Too expensive. They got flowers at all price ranges over there. You're just, you watch every penny, I can tell. Splurge, it only happens once a year, Valentine's Day. You remember when we were all in school, little school? Oh my gosh. You get a Valentine's, it was a card or something. I went home and I didn't want to tell anybody. My brothers or sisters, and one of my sisters found them cards, and I'm like, I wonder who invented that Valentine's Day. Anyway, okay, I gotta go. I gotta go out to the Azle Retirement Center, and there's some family out there that's the mother is at the end of her road of life. You know, that's the bad thing about my job here. Is going to. It's not bad. It just gets to you after. I probably do it 15 times a month. But death is a part of life, so, you know, that's why I always try to get people to get prepared for it quick, you know, early. I'm ready whenever. I'm tired of washing cars, I'm going to tell you that. So I'm going to go out and talk to this family and see what I can do to help. It's just sad that we can't live forever, but gosh, as you get older, things start breaking and hard to get up in the morning, wake up 4 or 5 times a night. Do you see my comment about the $1 blankets at Walmart? No. How did you send it? You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm on the internet about 10, 11 hours a day, but I get literally several hundred text messages a day and several hundred emails. So please don't get offended if I don't, because they get buried. Somebody said, why don't you hire somebody to get out of it? That takes away the personal. I don't want to do that. But I don't know how any other way to do it. I'll wake up at midnight, you know, and change the stuff, and I try to go through a bunch of them then. But I did not see that. Walmart's got blankets for $1. I know which blankets they are because I buy them every year for when we give away at the homeless shelters. They're wrapped in a little deal. They're about that. It's a good size little throw blanket. They're normally $5. You remember the 2021 year we raised about what y'all were part of it, $4,000 or $5,000, and we went and bought all that stuff and took it to the Presbyterian Night Shelter and the Goodwill, or not Goodwill, the other one there on Lancaster. Ricky is in. I don't see how people sleep out there, and it's sad. But like I say, death is a part of life, so, and we're all going to face it. One day I won't be on here, somebody else will be on here. Y'all will say, whatever happened to Larry? Okay, I'm going to get out of here. It's beautiful outside. Go outside and walk around. Smell the air. Don't forget, Valentine's is coming up. If you were not in the doghouse, if you don't send something, you will be in the doghouse. You know how the ladies are with these flowers. Flowers and perfume. They always say flowers and candy. I don't think the candy, all the ladies now, they ain't eating no candy. They don't want to gain any weight. Flowers and perfume. And I mean, don't even get near those Coach purses. Those things are $600, $700, $800. I mean, after you've got 4 or 5 of them, why do you got to keep buying them, is my question. Okay, who was what? My uncle was the photographic expert on the Warren Commission, Jack White. So if you want to see, Jack White and Jim Marrs were probably two of the biggest conspiracy theorists in the country. So you go to YouTube, put Jack White / JFK, and you'll see all of his. He proved the backyard photo with the gun and the rifle with Lee Harvey was fake. Auto repair where? Burleson Felts Family Auto Care. So, I encourage y'all to use our sponsors because they help. The money they pay helps do our deals, our events, and all this other stuff, as well as y'all do. How much did the Larry's Kids? We raised about $90,000. The report will be out. You'll be able to get it. I don't know if we've filed it yet, but you'll be able to get it pretty quick. What? What is this? The Morrison Building. I don't even know who that is. It's okay, but I don't know who you are. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, I know who you guys are. Yeah. That's the old Olin DeWitt Stevens house. I should have recognized it. I was in that house when I was a youngster. O.D. Stevens was a gangster. My dad took me to that house, naturally. He built that house. It had trap doors in it, hidden rooms. Yeah, that's it. Olin DeWitt Stevens. They planned it. They robbed the T&P train station in the 30s and got $71,000 in cash, which is today's money about $250,000. And so he goes to New York to wash the money because all of the money used to get transferred by trains back then. And so that money was earmarked for the Fort Worth National Bank. And they robbed it. 3 of them did. O.D. Stevens planned it, but he didn't participate in it. He had his house up on Morrison Lane in Hanley, and it's built out of petrified wood and sandstone. And he had a little strip center there on Lancaster in Hanley. And it was also made, and it's still there, and the house is still there. So he goes to New York, and the crooks up there really took him. They got him for like 50 cents on the dollar. So by the time he blows a bunch of money up there partying, he comes back with about $30,000. Well, that's not enough to split with the 3 guys, and plus have enough money for him to finish the construction on his house. So he just kills those 3. He tied them together with barbed wire and dropped them in the Trinity, and of course their bodies came up. And he went to court. They put him and a guy named May and another guy. They all went to Alcatraz, and in fact, not May, but the other guy got executed. Stevens' attorneys filed for an appeal, and they dropped. Somehow they beat it, and he came back to Fort Worth, and he moved to Arkansas, where he lived to be in his 60s. My dad, he's lucky he even got that far. My dad was going to kill him at one time. He had cheated Benny and them out of some money, and so Benny put a contract on him, and before Daddy could act on it, they got tied up with that robbery of the T&P train station. So he was in, the neat part of that story, he was in the Tarrant County Jail. Him and this guy named May, who was one of his partners, and then another guy that he befriended. And he found out from another prisoner that Clyde Barrow's sister was visiting a convict up at the Tarrant County Jail, and Stevens knew that Clyde had busted people out of Eastham prison and different places. So he put Clyde's sister on a visiting list, and he said, look, I've got $18,000 left. This is in 33. And he said, I'll give it to your brother if he'll break 3 of us out. And so she discussed it with Clyde. Of course, they killed Bonnie and Clyde before that could happen. But the plan was Pretty Boy Floyd and Clyde were going to come up to the jail. Clyde was going to steal a police car and a police uniform. He was going to handcuff Floyd and knock on the door at the jail about midnight and say, hey, look, I'm Sheriff so-and-so from wherever. This is Pretty Boy Floyd. I want to lock him up in your jail tonight and come back and get him in the morning. And so when they got in, they were going to shoot it out, but Pretty Boy Floyd said, there's no way you're going to take me into a Fort Worth, Tarrant County Jail handcuffed. So Stevens and them ended up, I'll post pictures of it. The courthouse downtown, they're walking around it in the daytime during the trial with Thompson machine guns. They were worried that somebody was going to come try to get them out of jail. Olin DeWitt Stevens. He was the first that when they were going to rob the train, you can research it. The first time they set it up, Stevens said, all right, here's what we do. You 3 guys are going to rob the train. So they're sitting up on the overpass waiting for the train to come, and they got into an argument over who's going to drive the getaway car. While they're arguing, the train comes, unloads the money, and leaves. So that pisses Stevens off. He says, all right. He appoints one of them. He said, you're the getaway driver. So it was about a week later. It's all set for that evening. The getaway driver's on Lancaster at a bar, and he gets drunk and wrecks the getaway car. Really brilliant criminals around here. So the third time they pulled it off, and they got $71,000 in cash, and supposedly there was like $10,000 in bearer bonds, but I never did hear any stories how if they were ever cashed or whatever. But and so May ended up getting executed. Another guy ended up getting executed, and Stevens filed an appeal and won it. And they got him out of Alcatraz, and his condition was that he had to go live with his son, and he couldn't live in Texas anymore. He went to Arkansas and lived out to be 60-something years old before he died. And he had been in prison a lot. And he had a drugstore front there on Lancaster and Hanley. And it was said it was Stevens' drugstore. It was a drugstore, all right. He was selling heroin. But he also sold real drugs. So I got to get out of here. It's time to go. Love all of you. See you later. 7 o'clock in the morning.